Okay, guys, I just finished watching Breaking Bad episode 14, Ozymandias or something like that. A lot to talk about here. So, the first thing on my mind is Hank died a very noble death. He had a very, very noble death. He, from the beginning to the end, he stood for what he stood for. What the fuck was that? Okay, so anybody who knows me knows I have a really bad fear of bugs. I heard something flying, I heard something, I don't know. So that's why I got away from over there. What was I saying? Hank died a very noble death. He stood for DEA, police, integrity, all of that. He stood for that. He died standing for that. Walt was like, hey, agree to just, make this all go away. Agree to just move on, because as we knew, the white supremacists were going to come. They were always going to come. No matter what. They wanted Walt for the cook to show, what's his name, how to get it done right, how to get it done well, whatever. So yeah, they fucking killed Hank. They killed Hank, and Hank died. He went out noble. He went out noble. He did. I commend him for that. So Marie comes to the car wash. She's like, Skylar, you have to fucking tell Flynn right now. Tell him the truth. Hank called me and said that he has Walt in cuffs. It's over. It's over. It's over. So they bring in Flynn. They tell him, hey, Walter was a drug dealer, blah, blah, blah. Flynn is like disgusted. Even with Skylar, he's straight up disgusted. So they go home. Surprise, surprise, Walt's there. Big surprise, Walt is there when they go home. So Skylar's like, what happened? They said you were in custody, blah, 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 blah. You should not be here right now. What happened to Hank? Hank had you in cuffs, and I know he wouldn't just let you go. He didn't want to traumatize Walter Jr., so we'll let pass him saying, Walt's a really bad liar. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't think, and it's highly emotional states make people worse at lying. But I feel like he could have easily just said something like, these white supremacists that I did business with did not want me to die. Hank obviously was not going to back down. So the white supremacists killed him, even though I was against it. And that's kind of the truth. Actually, that is the truth. All of that is true. I begged them not to kill him. But, from Skylar's point of view, Walt is cold heart. Walt is the danger, right? Walt is the danger. Okay? So she was on board until people in the actual family started to get hurt. Hank, right? So she's no longer a ride or die. She fucking pulls a knife on him. She pulls a fucking knife. And Flynn calls the police, and he's like, my dad pulled a knife on my mom. He lied, but you can tell he was kind of afraid of Walt too, because Walt's like, we need to pack and leave now. We're a family. We should go together. We need to go. And they were not down this time, which is commendable, because this whole series, they've been pick up and go, right as Walt would say. Pick up and go, pick up and go. Always. Just so pick up and go on Walt's time. And so when Jesse is found, let's go to that. Jesse is found, Walt's like, kill him. Kill him. Because in his mind, Jesse is the reason Hank had to die. Because he gave him the information. There would have been, without Jesse, there would have been a cold war between Hank and Walt until the end of time, until Walt died. There would have been a cold war. But Jesse providing that information made shit hot. made it so the money was found, made it so, all of this stuff. Jesse put all of that shit in order. And that is why Jesse had to die. And it turns out Jesse's foreshadowing was amazing. It was correct. You think shit would go one way and it goes the complete other way. What could possibly happen at this point? Walter is in handcuffs. He's in the car. It's over. And Hank even says it's over. But no. One more unplanned, albeit unplanned, trick up Walt's sleeve to completely flip the situation to something else. And it happened again. And Jesse was right. Walt is the luckiest. I think he said something like, Walt is the luckiest man alive. Like, it's luck. Because think about it. First, there was so much that should have went wrong there. Walt should have been booked and a done deal. He called off the white supremacists. He called them off. Don't come. Forget it. It's over. He admitted defeat and he accepted defeat. It was over. It was over. But they came anyway. Second point of contention. These are officers. Not only were they not supposed to come, but they're somehow people willing to fucking kill officers. They're like, no bag, no badge, then I don't know. You could not be an officer. How would I know? So they popped them, both of them. Then they got Jesse, beat him up, and it looks like they're going to keep him to make meth for them till the end of time. He's locked to he's like chained up to the ceiling, forced to make meth forever. Now, I hate the Walt bias I find myself having because Jesse is valid. Everything Jesse did is valid. In fact, Jesse did the right thing. When it comes down to it, Jesse did the right thing. But I guess, can we call him the protagonist? I think he is the protagonist. The protagonist of the story, it's so hard not to relate to them. And like, it gives you whiplash. Like you're rooting for Walt, but you're not rooting for Walt. But the story's from his perspective. So you kind of are rooting for him, but you're not. Because you shouldn't be. So Walt tries to threaten Jesse with the Andrea call a couple episodes back. And Hank intercepts it. Like Hank has Jesse's phone, which Walt wouldn't have known that. So that threat doesn't work. So Hank's like, nice try, Walt. But that now they have a picture of Andrea and the boy up in the new meth cooking facility. It seems like with the $70 million, $69 million that they've bought their own little meth cooking facility, Luke and his prison folk, right? So they have Jesse locked and chained in there. Let's get to the baby. Walt is 100% aware that the police are at his house. Walt knows. Walt knows Skylar isn't there by herself, right? He knows that the police are there. He knows everything. So in that final scene, he's playing a character. That's why he's crying. That's why he's bawling. He's playing a character, the abusive husband, he's just setting himself up to be the bad guy. Like literally, he's setting himself up so Skylar doesn't get in trouble. That's what he's doing. He's like, you dumb bitch. I set all this shit up. I built this on my own. No one but me. You know what I'm saying? No one but me. No one but me. Making sure to say that because he knows the cops are there and he knows they can hear that. I took Holly. Blah. You know what I'm saying? He's saying all of this to kind of set up this bad guy character so that Skylar doesn't go to jail. Skylar gets no repercussions. Skylar's good to go. At first, when when the scene first started, I was like, oh my God, he took Holly to punish Skylar. You know what I'm saying? At first, I thought he took Holly like, okay, well, you've obviously turned my son against me. Then I guess I get the daughter, period. But I think he just took Holly as a pawn for the officers, so he can paint himself as this abusive, horrible guy, terrible husband. And he put on this whole show. He's like, yeah, I killed Hank, and that's what's gonna happen to you if you don't do the right thing or whatever. Like, if you cross me ever again, Now, I know Hank has said shit adjacent to that, but this was 100% a character. 100% a character. That's why he's bawling his eyes out. At first, I was taking everything that he was saying at face value, but then I was like, nah, he knows there's officers there. Flynn called the police. The baby's missing. You know what I'm saying? So, in the end, he won. He won. He got everything he wanted. His wife is out of trouble. She has a car wash, so they're not broke anymore. Just a lot of everybody kind of won except Hank and Marie. That is really sad. Marie, I could feel her pain like through the screen. It was just awful. But yeah, this is the path Hank chose. This is where the path has led him. I think the most special visual probably in the whole show is Walter rolling the barrel of money by himself in the desert. Because that is the life he chose. That is what his life became. Just the fruits of his labor. No one around him, no family to speak of. I am so astonished that I never got spoiled that Hank dies. That was a good, because I didn't know what was going to happen. So it was good that caught me off guard. Oh, fuck. Let's talk about Walt finally telling Jesse about Jane's death. He's like, I was there while she choked on vomit, and I could have saved her. That was just twisting the knife in him because of what he allowed to happen to Hank. In Walt's mind, Jesse killed Hank. Pretty much. Jesse's actions are what led to Hank dying, which is true. Even though it is my personal belief, Jesse did everything right. In this final arc, I mean, in the beginning, Walt wasn't actually trying to kill him. But with the information that Jesse had, he did the best that he could. And he did do the right thing, if we're being honest. They both would have spent some time in jail, but they would have both been alive. You know what I mean? But now, they're both free. And Jesse is literally shackled to making meth. Presumably for the rest of his life. And now there's no Walt. There's no father figure looking out for him or anything. He is literally just a slave. But yeah, all the cards are out on the table. And Walt's, what do you call it? Like donates? He donates Holly to Walt donates Holly to the fire department. So Holly can be returned to Skylar, which further just proves that what he was doing was putting on a character. But I don't think Skylar is aware that he was putting on a character, which kind of bothers me. That makes me kind of sad, because that knife fight was crazy. Like, that was really something else. Anyways, let's go dip into the next episode. Guys, I'm pulling an all-nighter. I want to be done with Breaking Bad. I want to finish it. I want to bask in the ending.